Okay, shall we?
Sure.
3, 2. Welcome back to the podcast. Hello.
Hi. Okay, that's my camera.
Yeah, that's your
Sure.
camera.
Yeah, okay.
Here we are after 2 weeks, 3 weeks of announcing his presence.
Did you announce my
Yeah,
presence?
on the story.
Oh, yeah,
We
okay.
did. But before we get into the podcast, I'm gonna take some time. First of all, happy birthday to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, guys.
When's your birthday?
3rd of April.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's close.
it was
I'm
close.
21st March.
Yeah, he didn't give me a gift though.
Oh, that's sad.
Very sad.
Sorry, I'm gonna buy you something, baby girl.
You sure?
That's the first thing. The second thing is happy, Ramadan Mubarak
There you go.
to all of my Muslim audience, and it's just you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Daniel.
Hi.
Just so fucking like I thought, okay, like this episode is gonna be something. We have to be like serious.
Oh,
Daniel was
honey.
doing it. I was like,
No,
hi.
not at all.
How's life?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. Right now it is pretty interesting because it's my last semester.
Mhm.
So I kind of feel like all of my bachelor is like kind of a movie, and I'm like closing to the finishing scenes and everything. So all
Starting
of
a new chapter.
like all of these past months have this sense that everything is finishing. I am watching this movie and I am close to some closures, and I'm kind of seeing everything. So like I'm kind of seeing what everything was and what is happening right now, and I am seeing all of the wrongs and all of the rights that I have done in the past years, and I can see why they were important at some points. So
Even the mistakes.
even the mistakes, they were like extremely important.
Mhm.
So it is weird.
So weird, yeah.
Yeah, it is just weird and interesting, and I just cannot describe it.
Okay, so how are you feeling about those mistakes and the things that you did? Do you think they were necessary?
Yeah, like I don't want to say this like cliche sentence that like there is no regrets in life and I
Just
live by
winning
no
experience.
regrets. And like that's all like that's a bullshit. But at the same time, that's pretty true because like if I had the chance to start my life like from the beginning and change some important variables, and if I had the chance to know everything that I know right now, like maybe 10 years ago, that would be great. Then I would have some regrets, but that's impossible. So like thinking about some regrets and some mistakes is like completely wrong, because I see that so many mistakes that I have done were really important for me, and like they kind of led me to some paths that
And
were
to make
really
you the
important
man
for
that you
me.
are
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
exactly. And I love myself.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, like lots of my friends say that I'm a narcissistic.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are completely right.
Oh,
I am definitely egoistic.
You're on the right
Say
podcast.
hi to your breed.
Hi.
Yeah, we're having two narcissists on our podcast and a selfless guy as a host. Anyways,
Sure.
yeah, we are here to talk about education,
Amazing.
how to study, and as you know,
How to be a
Daniel.
nerd.
Yeah, Daniel is. Can we call you a scientist? Because on one of your videos, you considered yourself as a little scientist.
Yeah, as like a scientist to be. So like
A mini scientist.
a mini
Mini
scientist.
scientist.
Like it really depends on how you describe a scientist.
Mhm.
So if you describe it as a person who is doing like cutting edge research, then I'm definitely a scientist.
Mhm.
Like it's been more than a year that I'm doing research. But if you define it as like someone like a university professor, then there is like a little scientist in me. And there's like a
Yup.
scientist to be.
To be,
Yeah.
more to be, or
Become.
become.
Hmm.
Jesus. But someone who's going to some university like him cannot be a scientist. Like,
No, I'm supposed to be an engineer.
no, wait.
I'm not gonna comment on this.
Okay,
Leave this to me. Go on.
Listen, my friend. I have my evidence
Of
you not being a scientist. So basically, the university that he goes to is like a hotel, but the university Daniel goes
He
to,
has a point.
yeah, Daniel goes to is so serious. Like it's called Otsu,
Middle East Technical
Middle,
University.
and it's hard to get in, especially the field that he's studying, physics.
Yeah.
Basically, he's a nerd. And that's why we have him on the
Shouldn't
podcast.
you like introduce me at
Yeah.
first?
Go ahead.
Should I
I'm
introduce
sorry.
myself?
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a scientist.
I'm a scientist.
how old are you?
22. Just turned 22.
What's your favorite color?
It's not a first date, you piece of shit. It like,
Mm.
Do you want to know?
okay.
I guess purple.
Ooh.
I think it's purple.
Purple. Interesting.
Exotic.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm like 22 years old. I'm Iranian, and it's been nearly 5 years that I live in Turkey. So I study physics at Middle East Technical University. It is my last semester. I'm going to graduate in 2-3 months, I guess. Besides physics, oh shit. Okay. Besides physics, I also minor in sociology, and I am kinda done with physics. It turns out to be really boring. And I am okay. So okay, first of all,
my teachers.
first of all, on physics and everything, physics is one of the most interesting subjects of the universe. I definitely want you to agree with me.
Okay, yeah.
You have to agree with
Come on,
me.
come on, you're the guest. How can we
have
not?
stars and shit on your like phone.
That's
Yeah.
not mine.
Okay, you. So it is like interesting.
Somewhere here we have
And
something to do with
somewhere
physics.
here, I guess like you should. You have like aliens, whether like that's not physics. Honestly, you have like Back to the
Yeah.
Future. Maybe that's science. But
Peter Parker is a scientist.
maybe we can put it like that. He's a nerd, that's for sure,
Yeah.
but like a scientist.
He's a Daniel.
You don't think so? But like when it comes to research, like at least recent research of physics, I'm not interested in like research subjects of physics.
Okay.
So because of that, I think at the 21st century, physics is a little bit boring. So I'm going to like continue with sociology, and I'm hopefully going to become a computational social scientist.
Okay.
Ooh.
Holy
That's
fuck.
a thing, by the way.
Yeah, that's wow.
But do you think it's getting boring because you've been doing it a lot? Or it's just not the right time for it anymore?
No, okay.
Good
So
question.
it is. My opinion on this is actually really like subjective. So I'm not saying anything objective in general. Definitely, there is lots of people that find like the current physics really interesting, but that's definitely not me. And the reason is not that like I have been studying it for years or everything. The reason is that I kinda lost the main reason that I studied physics
What was
in
the main
physics
reason?
itself. So in high school, you are always studying classical physics, right? So like classical,
Basic.
basic. That's basic. You can put it like that. But as a subject, it is called classical physics, and the classical physics is all about describing the things that you see in your like daily life somehow with some mathematical equations. So like you have mechanics, you have electrodynamics, and electrodynamics is better name. Electrodynamics and electromagnetism. That was the word that I'm looking for.
Okay.
You have optics and you have thermodynamics, right? So like,
Sorry, the guy has no clue.
Nah, you got me. I'm in. Come on.
For sure.
Electric stuff.
yeah, electric, like electrons and everything, and you are doing like computer engineering and shit. So like,
Yeah,
it is completely dependent on
Yeah.
that branch
Area,
of physics,
yeah.
you know, right? Okay, so, and I fucking love that because I really love that I could pour my intuition and my understanding of my daily life and daily interactions with the nature or the universe or anything that you want to call it into mathematics. That was amazing. So like the first time that I really understood the meaning of like Newton's second law and the Newton's like equation of
Which we have no clue of.
like F equals m multiplied by a. So it is like force
Mass and
force equals mass multiplied by
Nice.
acceleration.
Okay.
That was like a mind fuck moment for me
Okay.
because when you completely understand that equation, it really feels like you just have a lamp in your head and it just turns out. You really have that aha moment. And
Aha.
that's the name for this moment by it's like an aha moment that you just like aha, okay, like this is like this. And I really love that because like when you understand that equation, it really changes the way that you look at the life around you, because you only from that equation you could understand why when you like push something which is heavy, it is like moving faster than something that is like moving slower than something that is like really light. And I love that. And that was the main reason that I wanted to study physics, to be able to like pour my intuition and my understanding of the universe into some mathematics. And I really loved physics in like the first and the second year of my university because that was still classical physics and like some parts of the modern physics. But the current physics, is all about modern physics. It's like a relativity, quantum, black holes, and things like this. These things are definitely interesting. So like at least in theory side, because it is weird. Like who doesn't like quantum? Quantum is like a really really weird subject, and lots of weird things are happening. But there is nothing called intuition in quantum anymore, because we do not live in a quantum world, and our intuition is not based on quantum realm. So I kind of right, you know. So
this is why I didn't choose modern physics.
Really?
Yeah, I had that course. I didn't choose it.
so like you know, there is this famous saying in quantum that they say just shut up and calculate.
Okay.
Because you cannot work your way through with intuition and like your understanding of the universe and everything when it comes to quantum. Everything is super weird. You cannot make sense of any of it. But when you write the mathematics, it just makes so much sense. So like everything is in the math, and the math is like differential equations and linear algebra for people who want to know.
I know. I'm failing one of them.
I'm proud of you. Holy shit. Okay.
So yeah, that is still interesting. Like playing with math, equations, and everything. I'm really good at math, and I like that. But definitely, I lost this sense of intuition.
And now you're into analyzing human more.
Yeah, kinda. So like the path from physics to sociology was like a really long path. It took me like 2 years to make this full transition and decide that I really want to do this, because like it is hard to like with a physics major start to become like a sociologist and everything. But the first important step was this, that I realized that I do not like any current subject of the physics. So I used to work on optics, I used to work on quantum computing. You should definitely work on that. I used to
Get some advice.
I used to work on quantum computing, and I worked for like a small time, like a really really short interval, on like quantum biology and things like on that side. But then I turned out that like none of this is interesting. And really, like only by chance, I came across complexity science. So complexity science is a branch of physics, not necessarily a branch of physics. It is like a separate science by itself, but it kind of starts from physics, and it has this huge intersection with physics. But it also has intersection with like economy, physics, sociology, mathematics, computer science, ecology, and a little bit of like immunology and like things like this. So I kind of made this transition into complexity science, but only with like a physical background. But between all of those complex systems that complexity science is trying to study, I was mostly interested in the social side of the thing. So there is something called social complexity, and
that's how you found interest.
Yeah, so like I wanted to still be a physicist and try to apply the mathematics and the understanding that I have from like complex systems to the society. And hoping this, I decided to start a minor in sociology, but it turns out that I really love sociology. So like
I can see.
Yeah, it turns out that like the sociology is my passion. And I kind of, you know, like in Iran, because we do not have any exposure to like social sciences, and I was in Nodet, so like we only learned like mathematics, physics, and things only like this.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So like I was never introduced into social sciences. And when I start doing sociology, I'm gonna like take some serious courses from the sociology department, I realized that from a really, really, really young age, I had some important questions in my mind, but I never thought that these questions are valid. I never thought that these questions are scientific questions. I thought that these are the random questions that I have. But it turns out that they are actually sociological questions. And in sociology, and actually like in computational sociology, that you are leveraging mathematics, computation. I'm like a computational physicist somehow. If you want to put me somewhere in physics,
you're so many things.
Yeah, if you want to like put me somewhere in physics,
okay.
I'm a computational complexity scientist.
Okay.
We know what that means.
Yeah. So that means like I use computation, like mostly coding and some statistics and some simulations and some network science,
Holy fuck. Okay.
to understand complex systems.
Mhm.
That's my position in physics. But when you say like computational social science, it means that I am using all of those like computational things to understand social systems.
Master, can I take
Yeah,
it?
sure.
I'm sorry. You will continue.
No,
Uh,
that's the answer to your question. That's why I told you that I talk a lot, and you really have to.
I know,
Like,
but I don't want to
control me.
disrespect you.
Okay.
Okay? Took the guy 10 minutes to just introduce himself. Like,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Holy shit.
That's why that I said I'm a narcissistic, and you have to.
No, we love it. Come on. Daniel.
And this is only my educational
No,
side.
yeah, holy shit. Like, the guy is a YouTuber too. But we're not gonna go there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the links and etc. If we have any audience.
Follow.
Yeah, follow. Drop a like.
Drop a like.
Shall we get to the questions?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna go first?
So
or-
like, if you want to like ask me educational questions, it is important for people to know who is answering them,
Yeah.
right?
it's
So that was
not
an important
sure.
part. Why the fuck
Exactly.
people should listen to me?
Yeah, and if
Should I
you-
drop my GPA and everything?
Send them to me.
Sure.
I'm gonna edit and.
I will like send you a transcript.
Yeah. Oh, this is the resume. This is CV, guys.
Compare it to mine.
I have a website. You can drop that too.
You know what you said? You
Hmm?
should compare it to mine.
Hey, you know, like you're starting.
Yeah, you just come on.
I'm second year.
Yeah.
Yeah, second year and it's still dumb.
I passed both of physics, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Good.
Can we know your score?
Yeah, 1765.
Cool. Cool.
Don't roast them.
Yeah, I don't. I will not.
Don't roast them.
I will
He
not.
roast me, I accepted. You roast me, I would not accept it, my friend.
Okay. I'm
That
come on.
he has a point.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
has a
like,
point.
he has a point.
Okay, Daniel. How I'm gonna drop this big thing. How to study efficiently. Now, before you answer, our audience, as you know, are like the people who are like behind, like taking SATs and etc.
Okay.
You know, in high school, and they want to like plan for their exams and etc.
Okay.
So how they can study more efficiently and at the same time enjoy their studying time.
I'm gonna drop a postmodern answer.
Okay.
Do what you like.
Oh yeah.
That's like my answer, a summary of my answer. But you know that I love to talk, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna just take the turn. And
But
speak.
but if you have a Middle Eastern family, that
No,
doesn't
I'm
go-
not that. The sentence that I say that like do what you want. I don't mean that like study what you want. That's something else.
Oh yeah.
I also agree with that,
Mm.
but that's not related to like how should you study efficiently. So my point is that when you just like go to Instagram, when you go to this like important people and you try to like ask them, and you go to your teachers and you want to like understand how should you study and everything, they're like, you have to read this book, you have to study for at least like 9 hours a day,
Schedule your week,
and you have
etc.
to do this and take this exam and that and that and that. But there is so many different studying styles, and you should kind of find the best study style that like suits you. So I think that's really important because like for
How?
example, okay, so I think you have to try different things.
Mm.
So like for example, they are always saying that if you want to like have a great score and everything, you have to wake up early, you have to start studying in the morning and everything, but that doesn't work out for me. After like 8 p.m. my mind
done.
just after 8 p.m. my mind just starts to work.
Oh.
So like I'm one of those people that I cannot study in the morning. I do all of the things that I do like just after 8.
So you drink a lot of coffee.
No, my sleep schedule is shit.
Okay.
So like
Makes
I usually sleep like around 4 5 a.m.
till
till like 12 1 p.m.
cool.
Decent.
Yeah, decent amount of sleeping time. Nice.
So I think like first find your time. That's really important. Also, do not just be attached to one source. Because like for example for the SATs or like if you want to learn a certain subject in say like physics and everything, these things that you study at least in like undergrad and high school level are really famous things, and so many people have to learn this. Because of that, there is so many different channels that you can learn this through. So like there is books, there is YouTube, there is like different books, there is lecture notes, there is online lectures on YouTube, there is like courses, there's
lot
like
of things that a
private
lot of people
tutors,
say.
there is different
Yeah.
different things, So you shouldn't just limit yourself to one of them.
Oh.
And you shouldn't limit yourself to the official one that is given to you. So like in our university, there is so many courses that I didn't attend any class. I just skip all of the classes. I just find the material that suits me and I learn those subjects. So I think it is really important to find the best thing that is good for you.
And the thing is, what Danny was saying, it's a good point. And when you don't force yourself, in my opinion, you learn it by heart. Exactly, right?
Yeah,
You agree with me?
Definitely. And you know, like, I'm gonna give you like a really recent example. So right now I'm having this course in sociology department, and most of the courses in sociology have lots of readings. So like, for a week you have to like read 50 pages from like a certain sociologist or a certain philosopher and everything, and it takes lots of time. But I usually don't. So like I have so many friends that like spend so much time on understanding the text. Maybe it takes them like 6 hours, 8 hours. I have no clue how long it takes, but I'm just making an approximation. It takes hours for them to like understand that text. But I, instead of reading that text, I just watch few YouTube videos. And maybe it takes an hour.
Yeah.
That's way more efficient. And definitely like they have a better understanding than me because like they read the text and everything. But with that extra 7 hours, I can do so many other things. I'm not saying that I party on that 7 hours. I do not.
You're a good dancer though.
I do not.
Okay.
But I can use that 7 hours to understand some other parts of the text that I learned about in the video, and I could do more searching and maybe find smaller things to learn and read, or maybe on my other courses or on my research or on something else. So like you shouldn't be really limited to the things that are officially assigned to you, and you shouldn't be also limited by peer pressure. So you shouldn't be affected by that, because like I remember that in my high school years, especially for the physics course, no one is reading the actual books of like the school. So like everyone is like reading extra books, like additional books, and those are bullshit. Like I fucking hated them.
And you're paying for what? Nothing.
And you're paying for nothing because they just recite everything that is in the book and make some extra
in a different
shapes.
way. And
yes,
give
like
it
it is
tales.
nothing. I just read the actual book, but maybe twice. It was way better, and it turns out
time saving.
And time saving. It was time saving. So like also like for the S.A.Ts, I didn't go to like any classes.
Can we know about your score on S.A.Ts?
40-10. I studied for 2 months by myself.
Fuck. Okay. Continue.
790 for math, 620 for English.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't attend any like
extra classes
and anything. I have like a huge beef with them, by the way. Do not attend any of those classes. Those are all bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just.
We're ruining your business.
Yeah, like fuck those guys. Honestly, fuck those guys. Okay, story time.
Story time.
Let's go.
Okay. It's been like a week, I guess, that I just came to Turkey.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And I want to like find one of these classes and everything because I'm pretty sure that I want to study physics. I'm pretty sure that I want to study that mid-2, so I have to take the S.A.Ts, right? So I go to one of these institutions. I don't want to say the name.
Don't.
But first of all, I understand that they do not know anything about the S.A.T. Because like the point is that S.A.T is not like yours, and S.A.T is an international, well-known exam.
Yeah.
And you can find shitload of amazing like these courses on this exam, and you also can find official like books, examples, and everything because it is a well-established system. And I first realized that none of them completely understand what S.A.T is.
Okay.
And also the teachers never took the S.A.T themselves.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
They are usually like most of the S.A.T teachers
like English
are
teachers
just English teachers.
Yeah,
and like all of the English teachers, maybe like they could be really useful if you want to take an IELTS or anything. But just keep in mind that IELTS is an exam that tests whether you understand English or not. But SAT is the exam that
Academic English.
pre-assumes that you already know English because it is the exam for Americans, and then it actually tries to test your reason.
Promote our business partner, Minerva Company. Minerva Company is a company, a filmmaking company, which is now looking for talent. They're doing theater, they're doing music, they're doing everything that you can imagine. And I'm gonna leave their link down below on the bio. And if you think that you're a talent, go check them out to the podcast.
And they do not teach reasoning; they teach English.
And the other thing is, someone actually got robbed by one of those academies. They look you as customer. They don't look you as a fucking student who's like trying to be something.
They don't look you.
They don't look at you.
They don't see you as.
They don't see you, or the same shit. They grab. Oh my God. They don't care.
Also, like when it comes to math, most of those teachers are either mathematics teachers for YOS or like for YKS, which is like the official exam of Turkey itself, or they were like high school mathematics teachers. Math is the same math, but the angle that SAT has in like its questions and everything is completely different from the other exams. It is really important to understand that SAT, like the official SAT one that so many people take, is actually called SAT reasoning. And it is not a math exam. It is not also an English exam. It is just an exam that tries to test your reasoning. First by text, like from qualitative data, and then from quantitative data. So you have to go to a place that they teach you reasoning, not mathematics. And just keep this aside.
And it's hard to come by.
It is hard to come by. It is hard to come by. So like I had some students, so like I privately tutor people. I do not do it anymore. So this is not like advertisement. I do not do it anymore because like I just don't have time. But you can find some people. This is definitely rare, but you can find some people. And also, like the SAT itself has this system that you kind of have to learn it yourself.
Oh yeah.
Because no one can teach you to think.
Oh yeah.
You know, people could teach you, like teachers could teach you like equations, they could teach you grammar. That's important. That's like one side of the job. But there is a whole another like side of SAT. The dimension of SAT that it is the reasoning. And maybe I could guide you to think better and to like maybe understand what's happening. But at the end, you have to try to develop that yourself.
You're on your own.
And also just keep in mind back to the story. So after all, I was like, when I first came here, I didn't want to spend that much money. So I asked to the principal of the institute or anything, but like I have no clue.
The head of
the institute. Thank you. The head of the institute. That okay. So like there is 5 SATs in each year. So let's say that I just attend your courses now, and I attend the SAT like 2 months, like 2 months later, and I got the really huge score. So can I take back the rest of my money or not? So because I do not attend like the 6-7 months of the courses, I only attend maybe 2. So like, can I take it back? And he was like, that's impossible. And I'm like, okay, I understand that's really hard. Let's say that this happened.
Okay.
Will you give my money back? Give me my money,
motherfucker.
And he's like, that's impossible. I'm like, okay, I understand that no one has done it before. What happens if I do this? Will you give? And he didn't answer me. Like the fucker didn't even answer me. And I was like, okay, I will not come here.
Okay.
I studied by myself for 2 months. I got 40-10. And then, like lots of my friends go to that institute. So I went there and he was like, what did you do? And I was like, I got 40-10.
What did you do? I got 10. Oh, fuck you.
in 2 months, by myself, bye. So like, I think like it is really important to like not be affected by peer pressure and the official things that they are giving to you. So like you have to find your own way. That's really important when it comes to studying.
But it's hard.
It is hard. It is really hard. You have to like try different things to find what's good for you.
And you'll fail a lot.
And you will fail a lot. That's
Yeah.
definitely a point. My second point, that was my only first point.
Damn.
Damn, okay. The second point is to know yourself and be honest with yourself.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so like when I used to study for the S.A.Ts, or even now that I'm like having exams and everything, there is certain times that I understand that if I push myself to read more, I will not understand shit.
Yeah.
And I will just lose
And you'll not
2
enjoy
hours.
it.
I
Yeah.
will just lose 2 hours.
Yeah.
I will not understand shit. And I have to just reread it again. Because I know this, because I know myself, because I know that at certain like that time and that position and that mental state, I cannot do this. I just give myself like a 2 hours break. And in that 2 hours, I maybe see my friends, maybe I play some video games, maybe I watch a movie, maybe I sleep, maybe I take a shower, but I just do certain things to like give me that mental state that I could study at back. So like I try myself to read my moods somehow.
To follow your moves.
Yeah, and like follow my moods to like find certain times to study.
Oh.
And there's certain that this thing that I'm saying, this is like a really hard critic
Yeah.
because so many people that do this are just always going by the flow. So like you have if you like do this too much, you end up at the point that you don't study at all because you said I don't want to study, like I'm like busy and like I do not have the right
You lose
like,
discipline.
you lose discipline.
Yeah.
So like it is really important to kind of balance this.
Oh yeah.
So like I kind of have this rule that at each day I try to do 8 hours of work. And work could be attending classes, work could be attending meetings, could be reading, could be
Watching.
could be like watching YouTube videos on the subject and maybe like doing some research. I push myself to that 8 hours daily and I do everything else to like kind of maintain that 8 hours. And on the weekends, I just party hard. So like, I think that's really important.
I love that.
You
So
are
and
a
at the
scientist, my
weekends,
friend.
yeah, you are a scientist. Holy fuck! And the weekend, like party hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And also the third and the last point, I don't want to talk too much, is that I'm just saying this one for the people who are taking a university exam or like have this really important exam for themselves. It is that understand how important this exam is. Because like let's say that you are taking the S.A.Ts. If you like study a year like really really hard, you will most probably succeed in it because it is really easy, right? And it is really important like the which university that you go and like which program that you study. So I think it is really important to understand that is important. So
How
like
big it is.
Yeah, in the 2 months that I studied for the S.A.Ts, everything that I did was aimed to that. So like I only watch English movies. I usually do that, but like I only exceptionally watch English movies. I try to read like novels each day, like some pages at least.
Jesus.
I try to go to a speaking club. I even try to like do my social activities in a way that they are oriented towards this. And I sacrificed a lot. So like I didn't have so many friends in that like first 2 months. I didn't like enjoy my time that much. I didn't play video games. I didn't do so many important things.
But now you're partying hard.
But now I am doing the thing that I want. So like it is important to understand that you have to sacrifice some things in this like important intervals of your life.
Holy fuck. You know, the thing that he said about reading novels, I got introduced to Oscar Wilde because of S.A.T.
Yeah, so
Really?
it is amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, you had some questions?
Yes, which mostly I had my top 3 questions. You answered.
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Like I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was...
Okay, you see, like I want. Okay.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
How to answer questions efficiently with Daniel.
No, but I'm asking this for my own things because I know people have exams, but mine is closer. And I don't think I don't
More
think.
important.
Yeah. I'm more
Narcissist.
important. How would you get ready for an important exam? And also
The
keep in
guy was
mind
answering
no.
right
I
now.
study for it.
Yeah, study.
No, but like how? Imagine you don't have the enough time for it. Like you have 1 week before an important exam.
Forget about it.
Okay.
Shit.
Honestly, I'm kinda never into that situation.
Yeah.
Let's just say you are.
Okay. That's my honest opinion. That like, I usually plan things ahead, and even for this podcast, which is I think like we talked about this like,
A month ago.
a month
Yeah,
ago,
a month
and I was
ago.
like, I'm available on that day.
Can I say something? I was like, okay, like other guests that we have, I have to remind them. And I reminded him, and he just blocked it. Like he was like, "Yo, I have it on my schedule." I was like,
Yeah. Okay. Just yeah.
Shit.
That's the point. Okay. So
Yeah, I was like, "Yo."
just say this
Yeah.
that I have this.
And he
Google
was actually
Calendar.
reminding me the time.
Yeah. Sorry. So like I have this Google Calendar and it is like filled with like courses, exams, meetings, important things that I
Jesus.
have to do. So like I also had like podcast and everything on the calendar. So because of this,
Because
that
it was
usually
important.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like for the I had exam today, but I didn't like even studied for it because I just lectured some of my friends on the subject and I also just attend classes, so that was enough for me. But if something like that happens, first I try to sacrifice anything else for that interval. Maybe I just do not do any other things
You just focus on that.
and focus on that. That really helps. Like I try to, maybe like my time is limited, I try to like maximize that. I try to like use as much as I can from the limited time that I have. First, that's I guess important. And second, if you want to like really, if your score is important for you, if you want to like maximize that score at the end, you have to focus on the topics that you believe that it is most likely to
Be in the
like
exam.
be in the exam.
Mhm.
So like if your goal is the score, you have to like orient your program
You have to be
towards
smart.
towards getting the highest score. So like you have to read the things that is more important for the exam at least. You have to like maybe kind of lose the chance of understanding some subjects and go to
memorizing them.
like memorizing them or like understanding them with like a surface level.
Hmm. What about cheating?
Oh, I was about to ask that.
I kind of never.
No,
did
Daniel,
that.
let me build this up. In your whole professional studying life,
I honestly didn't.
you shitting me.
Okay.
Okay. What about giving
Hell.
things?
I gave.
Cheating.
I did that.
The teachers.
Only in high school,
Mhm.
I guess. Yeah, in high school, I was busted once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Never
was
happened again.
busted once, and like in Arabic exam.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
That's the
Oh my God.
lamest exam to be busted. But yeah, I only did that in high school, I guess.
Do you recommend people who are at uni?
I
don't care.
I don't.
You don't.
You know, like.
You're cheating on yourself, right?
You know, like I see so many people that are graduates and they are saying that like we cannot find job, we didn't learn anything, and
Oh, yeah.
things like this. I'm not saying that the economy is great, and I'm not saying that even if you understand everything perfectly, you
You'll
will
find a job,
definitely
yeah.
find a job. I'm not saying this. I'm not sitting on like a bourgeois-centric idea in here, but I guess a huge part of that important discourse in like public opinion is based on this.
Mhm.
I see so many people in my university, even in my university that should be one of the best universities in Turkey and in Middle East. I see so many people that didn't learn shit
Oh yeah.
and they are just trying to maximize the score.
Yeah.
And like maybe by cheating, maybe by memorizing. I have few friends that just there is like this previous exam questions for
Mhm.
some of the exams. I have so many friends that instead of reading, memorize those previous exam
Just for
questions.
the score.
Just for the score.
Oh.
I never did something like that because I always try to like balance between understanding and getting a great grade.
Oh yeah.
These two things should be like in an ideal universe that doesn't exist
Mhm.
even. These two things should be completely in parallel.
Yeah.
But they are not. I understand that they are not in parallel. Maybe for some courses and for some like professors, it is like maybe a little bit better. but I definitely had my share of shitty professors, and like shitty professors that like just ask really shitty questions
No?
which are not related to the subject at all. But you kind of have to find your balance,
Mhm.
both to understand and both to get a great grade.
Okay. Uh, can I ask an important question? Uh, I love your hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. I had this very personal question
Okay.
because people want to know, especially the ones who are getting into university, how does it feel like the first year of university?
Shitty.
Really?
Shitty. Really bad. The
Can,
first,
can you check the camera before he starts?
Yep.
the
Okay.
first year of university is shit.
Really?
It is.
Awkward.
Does it get better though?
Hmm. Maybe. Maybe.
On your personality. Depends
Maybe.
on your
It
personality.
really depends.
How was for
And
you?
it always fluctuates. So like, I hated my first year in the university. Not about the subjects. I really love the subjects, by the way. I was so stressed out.
Oh.
The second year was extremely stressful for me because of my university and the courses that I have taken. Our second year was really, really hard. Third year was amazing. Right now, I'm having the time of my life. So it really fluctuates, and it really depends on the program, university, and the courses that you are taking. But the first year, I think that's kind of universally shitty. And the reason behind this is that there is a huge distinction between high school and university.
Oh
Yeah.
And I guess that is just too much to take
Yeah.
at like one day. First, at least in my university, the classes are too huge. So like you go to lectures with like 120 people or like 200 people, right? But in high school, it is like at most 30.
Yeah.
And your like teacher knows you at
Oh,
least
yeah.
on personal basis.
And
But
he
in-
gives a shit, or he or she
and
gives a
yeah,
shit.
and he gives a shit kinda. Maybe he doesn't, but kinda he has to.
Yeah.
But in university and in public university, that happens way more. You may take a class and like just finish it, but the professor never knows you. That happens a lot because like there's like 120 people in the class, and the professor doesn't give a shit. He just comes there, gives the
Teaches.
lecture,
Yeah.
goes away. Maybe you are connected with the course assistant, and maybe if you just like have so many questions, maybe you could go to office hours. Maybe you are really extremely active in like the classes and ask questions and everything. But if you want, you can really be anonymous.
Oh yeah.
That's completely possible in university, and that's really different. So like in high school, you kind of have this teacher that kind of pushes you to study,
Mhm.
but in university you don't have that.
Yeah.
That's really
Shit.
different.
Can I tell you guys a story?
Yeah.
About me taking a talent exam for a university.
Talent.
We went,
exam.
yeah, talent exam. It was this talent exam which was about music, and the university used up its own students to like guide us, show us the university, where should we go for the exam, etc. And it was I got along with so many students, and it was this student that most of them met him like it was their first time that they met
Yeah.
him, and it was his
Happens.
third year studying there, and they just got to know him. Like, oh, you study here? I went, hey, it's my third year, and they were surprised. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it happens. So like right now I only have one course from physics left in the semester, and it's the university's 5th week, I guess, right
Mhm.
now, and I haven't attended single class. Like, literally no one
Nice.
knows me in
Savage.
that class. That happens a lot.
I do the same thing, but then I fail. What the hell?
Yeah, so that's why like discipline is important. So like I do not attend my classes, but I take that time to do something more efficient.
Yeah, and
That's the important.
You know-
No, I don't like it when you look at me when you.
well,
Alright.
Daniel uses his time to do what he loves, and he loves studying. He loves to. This is the thing. Daniel loves to learn, but most of the people.
I think everyone does.
I mean, like, especially coming from a Middle Eastern parent, I just always struggled to get good score.
Yeah.
And I never gave a shit about learning, and what was my passion, and that's what I'm becoming an artist.
Which I have a thing about.
Yeah. That's why I do music and paint and etc. Okay?
I do not learn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I always used to tell my dad, like at like the last year of my high school, I was like, Dad, physics, chemistry, none. It's not my thing. Like,
Can I just drop a huge critic on you?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Why are you gay?
You. That was homophobic.
That was gay.
That was homophobic too.
Yeah.
So, you cannot become an artist without learning.
Oh yeah, but art is what I love.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I'm trying to say? But because my parents put again so much pressure on me, I'm like, fuck this. You know, if I did it for myself, yeah, I would be studying in hopefully Metro, same university, maybe physics or etc. But because of those traditions that they have, or you have to be an engineer, or you have to be a doctor or a lawyer, I'm like, no. You know? You understand me?
Yeah, I understand. Like, I had the same experience, in, like, some levels at least.
But your parents should be proud, let me just say.
Yeah.
Thing, I heard this a couple of months ago. I was watching a video because one of my friends didn't really want it to do. He was studying electric engineering,
Okay.
but he really didn't like it.
Okay.
So he wanted to change his stuff, and I wanted to help him, but I didn't know anything.
Okay.
I also wanted
What
to
a
change my
friend.
stuff. So I did some stuff, I read some stuff, and then there was one guy who was explaining things, and then he was like, people say do what you love, but that's wrong. Do what you're good at. Do you agree with that or not?
I agree to disagree. So,
Yeah.
like, there. Okay, I'm gonna say the most narcissistic sentence ever.
Go ahead.
I'm good at so many things,
God damn.
but I only love some of them. And if I devote my life to some of the things only because I'm good at them, I will be bored. And that's my personality. Maybe someone will not. And you know, like, my take on choosing your purpose and like your life path and everything is always this that like, you kind of have to know your own priorities. So, like, for me, money wasn't ever a priority. Yeah, so, like, I don't want to be like poor, yeah, definitely, but I don't want to be rich.
You don't want to like seek after money. Like,
Yeah.
oh, give me money, money.
If, like, I understand that for my lifestyle, I have to have like a certain amount of salary, and I choose my paths and my work and everything related to that. But I understand that money isn't my first priority, and because of that, I never thought about becoming a doctor and everything, and I could. I didn't have any problem with that. Yeah, like, right now there is like so many
Savage.
cheating on the S.A.T that, like, even with like 1600 you cannot get into like med. But back then, in that old times, there was cheating, but not that much. So, like, with 4010 I could actually study medicine.
I heard that you go through so many interviews.
Yeah, they only
It's,
have one,
yeah.
but like there is also cheating in them. and
Really?
everything, And like I don't want to
Holy
talk about that, but like that happens a lot. Yeah, like yeah.
Okay.
There is like so many sad stories in the background of those. But because of this, I understood that I never want to do something only for the sake of money. And even like in physics, like if like even say that I don't want to be a doctor, I hate like biology and everything that I don't. I really love biology, by the way. I could become a computer scientist, and definitely like the chance of like he being rich is way more than me because like he's studying computer science.
You know, the university. Okay.
Yeah. So like
Comes for a guy who doesn't go anywhere. Go on.
he has a point.
Yeah.
So.
Keep your art going, my friend. I'll buy some from you.
But I understood that I don't want that. Like even now in physics, I see that if I want to like work on optics, I may be rich, but that's not important for me. Other things are more important for me, and I understand that I am not one of those people who could like find the meaning of life in like happiness or like in family or like in partying and everything. I really need something more complicated as like the meaning of my life and like the passion of my life. Like I really need that force and a struggle to like push me forward, and I could only find that in something that I am interested at.
There's your answer.
Yeah, so like because of that, it is really important for me to find the things that I am interested in.
Okay.
Not thinking about the money, not thinking about necessarily about the success. Definitely, success is an important factor, but not necessarily the success. Uh, and also, when it comes to like talent and everything, I kind of believe that everyone can do everything if they like work hard enough. Um, because like so many things aren't hereditary, like so
Yeah.
you can learn so many things. Uh, but I also understand that like some people have a better capacity for some things. So it is important to like find the intersection of the things that you are good at and the things that you are talented, that you are interested in.
Cool. How long has it been?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe 40 minutes.
I'm just gonna because I asked very interesting questions. I'm gonna ask 2 questions and I'm gonna end it after this. First of all, where are we gonna see Daniel in 10 years? That's the question.
Only if I know.
And how do you feel about if it's okay if I say, do you okay if I say moving out of this country?
Yeah. Um,
Like seeing yourself here, like you go back to, like through the time and tell the Daniel, the old Daniel, oh yeah, you're gonna make it and you're gonna, you know.
I kind of learned that life is full of surprises.
Do you believe in miracles?
I know that's bullshit.
Okay.
No, like when I say even surprises, I'm not saying it in like a spiritual sense. I'm just saying that there is so many hidden factors that you don't see in your life, and they just come out at some point. So like
it's needed.
Yeah, like that. I like 5 years ago, and like 6 years ago, I didn't even know that I want to come to Turkey.
Oh.
So like it just happened in a month, and like 4 years ago, I was trying to become a physicist, and now I am going to become like a computational social scientist. So like
the way he talks about it makes it sound really interesting.
Yeah.
computational.
I really want to study right now. Seriously, swear to God, give me a
Back
book.
off, let's go.
So like I will not be surprised if none of the things that I say right now don't happen, because like I kind of learned that in my life. But at least my plan is to first become a computational social scientist, like not to be anymore, be like the actual one.
Can you say it again?
Computational social sciences.
Jeez.
The word.
Holy shit.
Welcome. Compute. It comes from the computer. So like
No, that's. Oh.
Whenever he says something related to computer or anything, he just points at me.
Computational shit.
yeah, social science.
Do we have it here?
No, we don't have. That's not. It is not that famous. So like
Social.
science. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna translate for dumbasses like me. Holy shit, what's the meaning or definition?
I work with this dude, and I kind of know this dude.
Okay, guys, you go read it. Like, fuck. Yeah, computational social scientist.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Sounds so
Well,
fucking.
Yeah. So like,
elegant.
I want to become one.
Okay.
And I kind of see my purpose to combine natural sciences and social sciences. So I want to be the guy who combines them and publish my book and my theory on this.
Oh, solid.
Give it a go. Solid. You're gonna make your homeland proud if they care. If
They care. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
We will care.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Really, after all those teenager episodes, we came with a serious one. I'm gonna end this with your hat if it's possible.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much. You have anything to say to our audience?
No, I hope you enjoyed it because I did.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm gonna go study now.
Yes, studying. And
Just watch this.
Yeah, and if I don't see you studying after this, I will come to your house. Nothing. Anyways, like holy shit, the sound is different. When I put this on, it's like third dimensional sound, like going through my. Holy shit, no, I cannot.
By the way, like sound is like 3-dimensional anyway. So like.
Okay.
It has like.
Just end it.
If we have him on podcast more, I'm gonna be on the ground, and he's gonna roast the shit out of me.
Oh, I really love roasting people.
Yeah, no, I don't like.
Okay, so
not that
finish it
friends.
before it gets
Yeah.
worse.
Thank you for watching. Bye. No, seriously, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a great night, day, evening. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.